Hey, 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 whoever's in the building, even if there's nobody in the building, but I'm gonna still make this video anyway. But I just wanted to hop on here real quick. I'm gonna do a quick live. I am at work. I'm on break. I'm just taking a small break right now because um I'm pretty much shorthanded, which kind of segues me into my quick little topic that I wanted to talk about today. Being in the medical field, whether you're a CNA, LPN, RN, or hey, baby, love you. Um, but whatever role you play in healthcare, in the medical field, there's pros and cons, obviously, with any type of career occupation you choose. Um, as far as working in a medical field, um, the one pro, obviously, you'll always have a job because there's always going to be somebody that's sick and that's in need and things like that. No matter what population you're taking care of, whether it's elderly or, peds or whatever it is, they're always going to need you, right? So that's a pro of it, but um and not sounding like a negative Nancy or anything like that, but I have been in the healthcare field in all since like 1998 or somewhere around there. And for all the nurses out there, I'm pretty sure there's probably a lot of people that can relate to this, but just nursing in general, um the whole dynamic of it has changed substantially. Um, there was a point in time where, um, it wasn't so competitive, I guess you would say. You know, um, when you came to work, you would pretty much always have, the equipment you needed, the supplies you needed, the staffing you needed. You know, um, there was nursing was quite different. Um, of course, there were days and times and shifts that, you know, you were short-handed, but overall, just the entire dynamic was different. What I am noticing, and I'm sure a lot of other nurses and CNAs and stuff like that probably notice also, is that after like um oh, and I don't want to say, well, I'm just going to say after that the hit with the VID 19, number 19, after that it seemed like there was just a crazy shift in just the whole paradigm of the medical field altogether. um and I got together with a few of my colleagues not too long ago, and we were just having, just an open discussion. We were kind of chopping it up about some of the reasons why that could be, and why now it seems like it's just uh help is just so scarce. You know what I'm saying? And so, we talked about some of the reasons, and at one point in time, during that time in 2019, or whenever that time hit, um, vaccinations were pretty much mandatory. Okay, it went from being a thing of, because it was always optional. When it came to getting like a flu shot, something like that, it was always an option. They always offered it to you. They told you, what the risks were if you didn't take it, yada yada yada, so on and so forth. And you had the choice to decline if you wanted to. But during the time of the 19, is like it had gotten to the point, the laws were constantly and continuously changing. Just that, that whole time was crazy, right? Because Nobody knew a whole lot about it. It was being researched and it whatever. Some people seem to think that maybe it was a psyop or it was a scam or a scheme, which it could have been. You know, but that doesn't take away from the fact that it still hit the way it hit, right? So anyway, it had gotten to the point where nursing staff were pretty much forced um, to get the vaccination. You had to sign off on it. And they even went so far as to say, if you don't get it by this date, then you pretty much are terminated. Okay, your employment is terminated. You won't have a job anymore. So it was a pretty chaotic time, and you kind of saw like almost like a mass exodus of staff leaving, healthcare staff leaving, because a lot of people felt like it was infringing upon their rights, and it just wasn't right. And my sentiments are um, the same. I was not feeling it at all, and I think I was one of the ones who probably waited until the very last minute. But anyway, um, back to the topic that I'm talking about. So during that time, it was like basically skeleton staffing, okay? And I could say in my whole career as being a nurse and my career as being an aide, I had never ever seen staffing be so critical like that. And it was very challenging. It was very taxing um, on the staff. At one point in time, I was actually assigned and made the video 19 nurse, without, without being, asked. Pretty much I was told. And so I had to basically take on that role and take on the responsibility, and seeing so many, um, people not make it. It was a very, very trying time, very taxing time. Um, but a lot of people thought after that time that they lifted the requirements for getting vaccinated. A lot of people thought, okay, so now there's going to be another shift, there's going to be a turn, and people, we're going to start seeing maybe like, you know, um, an influx of new staff, right? Or, the people that left, they were going to come back, so on and so forth. But, here we are, August 2023, and where they at though? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's still like, what happened? So things never really returned back to how they were pre 19. And I'm like, what's going on? Like, so one of the things that we discussed is that maybe some people just, had a change of heart and had a change of career, and maybe they decide to do something else, or, you know, we really don't know the exact reason why things are not much different. I mean, things are okay because, over the past year and a half or so, a lot of nursing homes and hospitals and things like that, they started pretty much hiring um, agency staffing, which means they basically just kind of outsourced. They weren't really hiring internal anymore. It was pretty much through like a third party agency, and that's a whole nother topic of discussion because agencies pretty much charge a lot. Okay, if a person is working through agency, they're probably getting paid almost, if not twice the amount as a regular person that is in house. So, it's pretty much been like that. Well, now it's a little bit different because what's happening is A lot of nursing homes and hospitals and stuff are trying to get rid of agency now because the budget is just not there. Okay, the budget is just not there. A lot of people that are in house, if they're union staff, they're pretty much fighting against it, saying, hey, this person does the same amount of work, if not less, and they're getting paid a lot more money. So they're giving pushback, and it's just, it's just a whole big issue. But nursing is just not the same anymore. And, nobody really has the answer as to why it has not returned um, to how it was um, pre-demic or whatever. But it's not the same. And um, being so short-staffed is becoming extremely taxing on a lot of nurses, me myself one, because I ain't even gonna lie, like, I've always loved taking care of people. I've always loved science. I've always loved medicine. I've always loved anatomy. It's just my passion. Everybody has their own niche, their own passion, things that they love, and it has always just been something that was near and dear to my heart. Um, but like for the past maybe year and a half or so, it's like I'm kind of over it. You know what I mean? And I don't know, like if someone comes across this video, and your sentiments are pretty much the same, you have the same kind of feeling, drop a comment and let me know. And don't forget to thumbs this up and share the video, and continue to support. Thank you for your subscription if you have subscribed. But yeah, I'm curious to know what other people think and what other people are going through and what they're experiencing, because like I'm really over it, and like my desire for helping people has not gone, right? It hasn't left. I still love people. I still love taking care of people. It's a very rewarding type of job when you see that the care you give and what you do makes a difference and you see the outcome of it. It's extremely rewarding, right? But just always knowing that, when I get to work, it's like I'm going to be doing the job of 2 and 3 people all the time. It starts to become a bit much, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, um, I've been just kind of, brainstorming and thinking about just possibly some other career choices. I'm not exactly young, a spring chicken or none of that, but um, I don't know. I just, once your mind and your heart is kind of out of something, it's quite difficult to motivate yourself to to do it. And that's kind of where I am right now, I can honestly say. um so yeah, that's kind of where I am in my life. There's a few other things that I kind of have in mind that I want to do and stuff like that, and I'll share that stuff with you um in some more upcoming videos. But if you have any, ideas and stuff like that, you could drop it down in the comments. But, um, going back to school, is that another option? Or, you know, what? I don't know. But, in nursing, it's like, especially like CNA work, right? A lot of people look down on CNA work and they talk down on CNA work and stuff like that. They be like, oh, you just, you wiping people's butt and this, that, and the third, you know. And even though it may be looked down on and stuff like that, like, CNAs pretty much um, is like the heart of of nursing. You know what I'm saying? they have They do hands-on care. They're with the patient every day. They're up close and personal. They're typically the first ones to find out when something is going on with the patient, and without them, it would be difficult to run anything. So, but they, a lot of times, they seem to be, really overworked and underpaid, right? Um, and I was a CNA for a very long time, and that's also another job that's extremely rewarding, because when you start to build a rapport with your patient, um, they cling to you. They tend to, they love you. If you're working in the older population, of course, and some of those people don't have families. They don't have anybody, and just them seeing you come in and they see, your smiling face, and they know, the quality care that they're gonna receive. That type of stuff, just it makes like, a world of difference and stuff like that. So, um, yeah, but nursing and stuff like that, I love. I absolutely love it. But I ain't digging it no more, yo. I ain't digging it no more. I'm not. I'm really not. And so that's kind of my thing. What I've been kind of going through mentally, just kind of thinking about, like, okay, where do I go now? What do I do now? You know what I mean? Like, because I'm a firm believer in whatever you do, you should give it your all. You know what I'm saying? Don't do anything like, growing up when I was young. I used to always hear my mother say, "Ain't no half stepping." Pretty much, don't. She used to be like, don't have. It's nothing. Ain't no half stepping. Like, if you're gonna do something, put your heart in it and do it to the best of your ability. You know what I'm saying? Give it 100%. You can't, go into something and just give it 10%, and then you expect to, receive much more out of it. You have to really, whatever you do, you should really, really put your all in it. I'm a firm believer in that. So when you start to lose desire and you have a lack of motivation in what you are doing as a career, then it's not really good, because, right, you got to motivate yourself now. And it seems like the things that you used to kind of care about, you don't anymore. And that's when you start seeing, and I'm pretty sure everybody has experienced them, but you start seeing nurses that are real bitter. They're mean. They just, and they're pretty much treating their patients like shit, right? You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure we've all experienced that, where you be sitting in the ER or a doctor's office, and you be ready to just go ham on the nurse because she coming in there and you're like, what the hell's her problem? She coming at you sideways, or she saying something out of the side of her mouth and stuff like that. And a lot of those nurses and stuff that you see, those are ones that they pretty much just, they've been throwing a towel. They don't want to be there, and it shows. And I've always said that I never ever want to be that type of nurse where, my patients are like, they're looking at me like, and they hate to see me coming. You know what I'm saying? I like to always leave a lasting impression on them. I want them to be happy, like, happy to see me and stuff like that. So, um, so, my demeanor and everything. So that's why I have been just strongly thinking about and considering, you know, um, possibly doing something else or whatever, because I know I'm not into it the way I used to be, and not to say that when I come to work that I just be like a Debbie Downer, or I be like thinking negative, or none of that. I do my job. I don't care how hard it is, how short I am, how much my bosses are getting on my nerves, and I feel like they could have done things differently. I'm still going to um, do my job, and I'm going to do it to the best of my ability. But like I said, not really desiring to do something anymore, it definitely is going to start showing, eventually. So yeah, but just want to do a real quick live. I need to get back to work. Come across this video, you have any suggestions, um, then just drop it down in the comments. Once again, if you are supporting, I thank you. Share the video if you know someone who would be interested in the channel. Ask them to subscribe. We appreciate any type of support. It's truly a blessing. And I see you. I see you. I see you, baby, watching me. I love you. But yeah, everybody have a good day. Looks like it's been about 20 minutes, so I'm gonna get out of here. Like I said, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I still have to figure out how to work StreamYard, but I am I am definitely gonna continue doing YouTube because it's just something that I always like to do. So this was a real quick live. Thank you so much for your support, and until next time, peace.